So you want to start a business, okay. You probably think you're gonna sign some big checks for yourself, drive a Lexus, buy yourself a new Audi, however you want to call it. You know, you're probably thinking you're gonna buy a house in a couple months. Everyone's thinking you're a big shot, you got the ego flowing. Let me give you a reality check, okay? A place like this, it's gonna be 24/7. Owner-operated businesses, you're going to be working 24/7. Okay? That's okay. I just want to give you the reality of the place before anyone else tells you otherwise, that you're going to make $10,000 a month. You're going to be working for pennies for a little while. No, but seriously, guys, before this video gets started, I want to just reiterate, this is a building process, okay? The first 1 to 2 years, you're going to be scraping by. The third year, you start walking a little bit and start taking some real money. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys in this video. We took real money from this business, but it's nothing crazy or grand, and you're gonna see when I explain everything. You just have to realize that everything is a building process with a small business. You gotta build your customer base, you gotta build a well-oiled machine, get the right people in place, get the right products. Everything is such a slow process, and we want everything to start up here, right here on camera, high up. And you have to start at the bottom. Everyone wants to skip this. They don't want to sell the lemon for 79 cents. They want to just go straight to the big leagues and, start selling $1 million a week in their store, right? Nobody wants to start at the bottom anymore, and that's what bothers me. Everyone wants to start at the top. It just doesn't work like that. Even in a regular workplace, you got to start at the bottom and move yourself up the ladder, right? So why is it so different with people in business? They think, why didn't you get a bigger store? Or why didn't you just put a patio? Why don't you get a better sign? Why didn't you have these nice coolers when you first opened? If you're not in business, it kind of seems like you can just spend money and make money right like that, but everything's a calculated process. You have to budget correctly, just like you have to do in your personal life. So just please, the one thing you take from this video, aside from the numbers, be patient when you're starting a business. Because I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to be patient or you'll drive yourself nuts. Nothing happens overnight. No one becomes a success overnight. And nobody's special. Everyone's just trying to learn like you are. And when you just start out, it's going to be even harder. So before we get into all the numbers and everything like that, please take that into consideration. So it's pretty quiet at the store today. We're actually closed. So that's good. I have time to make this video. I can't talk today. And welcome back. Welcome to all my subscribers, all the new ones. And welcome to anyone just clicking on this video. My channel is all about owning a small grocery store, small business, and personal finance. If you're into that, this may be the channel for you. You could subscribe, or you could, not subscribe and just watch and enjoy. So grab, your favorite mango and jicama smoothie. Enjoy it, mix it all together. This is going to be a in-depth, kind of a taboo video. Nobody likes talking about this kind of stuff. So let's get into this one, guys. Welcome back to this channel. So nobody's allowed to talk about money because everyone's kind of feels that they get judged by how much money they make every year. And this channel is all about breaking that taboo and just being open with you guys. I've never been secretive about, how much this store makes, how much this store spends on expenses, or how much me and Felicia take home. I've never been one to shy away from that. I have no need to. I have nothing to brag about. I have nothing to hide. So that's why this channel is very different from a lot of other channels. We're very open and honest about money, because money's just what is it? Money's paper, okay? Money's a way of buying things that you need and want. It's a way of achieving financial freedom to some, a way of paying the bills to others, okay? There's nothing really so secretive about money. It's when it becomes toxic, where people start bragging or showing off, or trying to sell products that aren't true to get more money for themselves. That's when it becomes complicated. We're open, we're honest. So if you're ever planning on starting a small business, or you're just curious about, how much that little cafe or meat shop in your neighborhood actually, how much the owners actually need your support, or how much they actually make at the end of the year, this channel may give you some light on those questions and hopefully advise you into your future projects. To give you some background information, this store was opened about 3 years ago, basically just by me, Felicia, and we've been running it ever since. My parents sometimes help me out. We have one other part-timer, and we reinvested as much as we possibly could while taking a decent salary out of the business. We're constantly going to keep reinvesting, but at this point we do need to actually show an income from our business, because the government, after so many years, kind of wants you to actually show that you're making some money, because if you keep showing a loss, you may raise some red flags. So you actually have to take some money for yourself, or else some red flags will be raised on what the actual intent of this business is, if you're really not taking any money, or how you're even paying your own bills if you're just working for free for more than 2-3 years, right? So some good news is that this business, we have showed a decent enough income, and this business is actually putting us in a position to buy a piece of property, which we've discussed many times, between renting and owning. And this is the year we're actually going to go purchase a house, and we're going to do it all on camera as well. I just feel like it's a good process for everyone to kind of see what goes on behind the scenes of purchasing your first property. And yeah, this business has been decent to us. Of course, we work 60 hours a week. We're still in the building stages. We're still very new. 3 years into any business is still very, very new. But we're growing, and this place has really come a long way. We've added many, many different products. We've built a loyal following. I can comfortably say this place is a well-oiled machine with a good customer base. Mind you, it can always be better. You can always do more. You can always keep reaching as far as possible. The sky's the limit when you're an entrepreneur, and that's exactly what we're learning every day with this store. But we're currently still in a very, very growth-oriented process. This store is not nearly what it needs to be, in my opinion, and we just want to keep growing and expanding as much as possible. At this point, at this time of this video being made, this store is at pretty much max capacity. I can't figure out where else to put product in anymore, unless we do go higher, as I mentioned in other videos. But at the end of the day, there needs to be a expansion process out of this physical location, whether it be a bigger space or another space across town. That's something we need to do, and that's why we're not taking such a big salary. I'd say 80% of the store's profits go back into the store to reinvest, to make it better, to get better equipment, to get more product, to do better advertising, to get this store to its max potential, which I think we may be reaching. We may be reaching that point where we attracted as many people who are interested, but I think there's a bit more that we can do. And I think the $1 million mark is possible for this store. By that I mean $1 million in sales per year. Currently we are doing about $600,000 in sales, so we got a long way to go. So besides investing in more advertising and a better customer experience, a little bit better branding in the store, and more products that bring people back in, it's really hard to keep growing one physical location when you're only kind of stuck to the amount of space you have. So without getting more space, investing a lot more money in building that space out, we're trying to finish it off here and just kind of max this space out before moving forward to another space or a bigger space, whatever it may be. We still have a little bit longer on this lease, so we have some time to decide. Hey, we got the wonderful Felicia, our manager here. What do you call yourself? What's your title?
The real boss.
The real boss, okay. Stocking the shelves like every other Monday. Even she knows we're getting pretty packed in here. So this is our latest 2 shelving expansions. You may not think this is a lot, but when you have such a small store, putting these 2 right here together and the ones behind it is actually a lot of product. There's probably $2,000 to $3,000 worth of product on these 2 shelves. So it really is an investment without really looking like it's much. Like you probably see, oh, you got a couple cans and a couple jams there. Wow, you're so fancy. You got chips along the top. Wow, what an investor. No, but it all adds up. Trust me. Inventory is not cheap. When you go to the grocery store and spend $100, times that by like 10, and that's how much we bring in every single time we have to do a run. So that's obviously going to be one of our biggest expenses, inventory. We spend thousands and thousands of dollars on inventory every single week, and that's kind of the lifeline of this, whole store, is bringing in the inventory and feeding this large family of customers that we have, and making sure everyone's happy. One day I'm going to bring you guys back there, employees only. I'm going to show you really what goes on behind the scenes of this successful small business, and show you the magic that really happens behind the scenes. And you're going to be in awe on how much, truthfully, how many times I end up crying on my knees back here, wondering what the hell I got myself into. Okay, that's not 100% true. I'm usually very composed, even on a bad day. Ask Felicia. She's not answering me right now. So let's get down to the numbers. Probably, most of you have heard this from me many, many times. We're really into reinvesting and growing this business as much as possible. So we're very modest on what we actually take home as a salary. The more you take home as a personal income, you're obviously taxed way more. So we're very modest on what we take home. We know that we can survive on the amount we take, so we don't take anything more than that at the current time, because we're really in the growth stage. This is a very new business. Even 3 years in, there's so much more to learn and grow and do, that we want to leave it in the business as much as possible to keep it growing to a point that makes the most sense for us, where we can finally run the business hands off. We're far from that, and we understand that. The second thing I want to tell you is, any small business like this is going to be a 24-hour job, 7 days a week. Even if you're not open every single day, you're still going to be thinking, worrying, doing stuff for the business at all times. There's always something to do. You need to put a limit on how much you work, because you'll never stop. Try to just set hours for the day that you work, and go home and just leave work at work, and business at the business, and home life at home life. You get what I'm saying? But separate the two as much as possible, because me and Felicia are still working 60 hours a week, and it still feels like way too much certain weeks, because it truly never ends. There's always an email, a customer, or products to order, this and that. Try to separate your home life from your work life, or else you'll end up going crazy regardless of how much money you're making. So at the end of the 2020 year, it was a decent year for us in grocery. We took a very modest salary of $35,000 each. I think we did that last year as well, but I'm heavily reinvesting in this business, and it's still very new, as I mentioned many times before. So it's a modest salary. There's nothing that I'm missing in my life that I need more money right now. We're still able to have a down payment and a good savings account to purchase a home this year, and I think $35,000 each is more than enough right now. Of course, we're going to be hoping to make more in the next few years, and when we want to buy a car or have kids, we're going to need to make more money than that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of perks of owning our own business. Half of our cars are write-off. All of our groceries that we want to eat, we don't spend money on groceries. We just eat whatever we want from the store. There's really, there's always something that, is not selling or about to go bad, so we can take care of that. And even if there isn't, we take things off the shelf for ourselves. There's no other employees, so we don't need to set an example like that. It's pretty much, it's our stuff, it's our food, so we, whatever we need, we can take. And that's just part of being grocery, I guess. There's just so much excess food that may go to waste that we can take care of and just bring home ourselves. There's a lot of perks of owning your own small business, and I hope I illustrated some of them today. And don't expect to make any money personally for the first year or two. And even if you take some money out for the third year, please be modest. Realize you want to expand and grow your business as much as possible. You're not going to be, signing yourself $10,000 checks a month because you have a small store like this. It's just not realistic. That's why we're planning on growth as much as possible in the next 2 years, So thanks for watching this video, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I provided you some knowledge, because that's what we're here to do. Ciao. Wow, that was weird. Ciao. But yeah, have a good night.